What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Sure to like and sub, and let's get into this. One of those videos I was meaning to cover, but I was just under the weather, and that is one of the creators of Fallout, the original Tim Cain. He had a video on you because everyone's a YouTuber now. He has a video where he says a couple of different things from, the rage baiters, quote unquote, and grifters to how we discuss video games to saying that gamers don't know what they want. Now, I think gamers do know what they want. I think we're pretty specific, but I think he also has some points. So I was going to go over the video, but it's quite a long one. So I'm going to use two different sites that have summarized what he said. The first part of what he was talking about, he's talking about the change in discourse, the change in communication between people who play games and the people that make them, and how the rise of YouTubers talking about the negative parts of video games instead of focusing on the good ones has arisen. And yes, he does talk about the fact that here, he says it, and I get it, Cain asserted, with the rise of monetized channels, I totally understand that rage bait gets more clicks. So if you go on and have a channel and you go, I hate this, and these people are dumb and blah, you get more clicks because that's what people respond to. But it doesn't really explain forums and comment sections where the people who are leaving the comments have no stake in how many people read the comment. You still find that complaints about features are on the rise and constructive feedback saying, I wish they had done this instead of I like this in my games is on the decline. At the very minimum, at least the ratio has been increasing from bad to good. So a couple of parts with that. The rage baiting, and this I guess would be the me and Dimions, the Hypnotics, the whatever, the RK, all of us that make videos like this. And it varies. I don't consider it rage baiting because we didn't make up these topics, and if it was all rainbows and sunshine, we'd be covering that. Unfortunately, almost every single product in video game has some degree of fuckery to it, thanks to DEI and modernity and things like that. And the part where he's like, well, they're only talking about the negative and they don't talk about what they like. It's because it's 2025. We've had 2 decades of basically modern games from 2004 and onward. Quality of life improvements that should just be in every game, all right? And they release broken, buggy games. So it should not be up to us to explain to them what should have been there from the start, but it can certainly be up to us to point out all the dumb shit, like zipper tit scars, trans scars in Dragon Age the Veilguard. We were very clear about not wanting that, and we were very clear about wanting the lore. So now, are some people just straight up rage baiters? They don't give a shit about the games. They just, yes, that is true. But unfortunately, the adage, if it bleeds, it leads, has been around for a long time. I don't think that's going away. I'm more than happy to point out nuance and the good stuff, but it's few and far between. So he continues, he says, the weird thing about this is I see people complaining about features that they can 100% absolutely ignore. Right. And the reason they complain about that is the time and energy that went into those features was time and energy that could have gone into features that people actually cared about, Tim, and don't want to have to ignore features they paid for in the game, especially when those features don't probably serve a purpose. Hi, zipper tit scars. He then noted proceeding to raise the phenomena of how players will still regularly engage with mechanics they claim to hate. These features make the game a lesser, it's the cops coming for me. It's the designer's fault. He never should have put that in the first place. Correct. Which is, again, a whole other discussion of how much hand-holding do you want, and hand-holding in this case is how much should the designer not let you pick and choose how you want to play the game. Should he force you to play it in a way that you want to play it, and the way you made a Fallout game that you have to play it in a very specific way, at least the first 2, so I don't know what you're considering hand-holding. That's the we maybe don't know what we want in the rage baiting. And he says, here's the long answer, and it's kind of could be summed up because you don't know either, talking specifically as for why he believes the game developers do not know what gamers want. He says, we don't know what we want, which is bullshit. We very clearly do know what we want. He then explained, first off, many of you only tell developers what you hate. You said what it was you don't hate, but what is it you want? When you keep saying, I hate this game, I hate this feature, I hate these kind of characters and all that, great. What kind of characters do you want? How about the non-corrupted ones? That would be great. How about the fully formed ones? Do you want funny characters? Yes. Do you want serious characters? Yes. Do you want characters with a lot of background? Yes, all of them should have background. Do you want characters with very little that you don't want to spend a wall of time with and a wall of text? No. deep, long conversations and extra quests are the options we should be ignoring. All right. Those are if you want. Otherwise, I love all those quests. Those should be there. What do you want? That's why you have to tell us what you want and not what you don't. But see, the thing is, Tim, we've told you many times what we want, and you keep not doing it. So I guess we have to focus on what we don't want, since you're ignoring what we do want. Even when you say you want, you're often extremely vague. You will say, I want a better game. I want better AI. I want better UI. Yeah, I'll just slide the better slider from okay to great on all of those. This is like a super disingenuous. Also, Tim, when's the last game you made? If you don't say what you're talking about, it can be really vague. For example, what does better for you mean in a game? Or when you say, how is that AI bad? What are you talking? This is okay. When people say Star Wars Outlaws, the AI is bad. Do I have to fucking explain to you that it shouldn't be walking into walls and clipping and seeing through fucking walls and not like and shooting at each other and not hitting and like just shooting at the ground and like, do I really need to explain that AI? Do I need to go into the minutia, or can you not fucking hear me say, yeah, the AI is bad, and then go see an example of what the things are doing? Go, yeah, he's right. That's not good AI. You really just need us to bullet point your fucking jobs for you. And yes, people won't watch that. Thank you. When you say you don't like a UI, what is the friction point in that UI? It's big. It's cluttered. It blocks vital. Like, does this really need to be explained? This is why you get people that roast you in comments, even though they know they get nothing to benefit. They get the cathartic release of telling you to do your fucking job and stop blaming us for your shitty releases. Thanks, Tim. From here, Cain noted that gamers are not monolithic and have different preferences. He points to comments. Yeah, we're not, but somehow we all got into Black Myth Wukong and Stellar Blade. Real monolithic. He points to comments on his previous videos about people disagreeing with fast travel. You have the option to not use fast travel. You have the option to change difficulties or encumbrance mechanics, which are tied to difficulty often, and you can have that. So there you go. He notes, because of all of these different preferences, there is no possible way to make a game that will make all of you happy, which I don't think anyone ever thinks there is. But you can customizing your games ain't an issue. Just have people with the option of turning off certain features. There you go. But when you put in the extra dumb ones that no one is asking for, that's when people start getting resentful. Finishing off here, says, what's interesting to me, and this channel has made me really acknowledge it, you don't even agree on the fact that you are all disagreeing. Correct. I get that you, the individual, want what you want, the individual want, but you have to realize that you, the individual, are not very good at giving developers feedback, and that you, the individual, are not. This is reeking of Robert Meyer Burnett script doctors. You don't know how to talk to us, and quite frankly, you don't deserve to talk to us mentality. I'm in the majority. I like a lot of niche games. I've made a lot of niche games, and so that's kind of what I'm saying here. Is game development is hard on its own, technically. But this lack of consensus among game players about what they want takes that again, I would point to Marvel Rivals. Seems pretty concise. It seems like there's a consensus on what they want. And what they don't want is their female characters to be ugged up for the sake of modernity. They don't want DEI checkboxes. They don't want to be preached to. They don't want Concord and Dustborn. Real simple. Real simple. I don't know, Tim, but you could just keep going and you guys don't know what you want instead of just seeing what's very obviously on the table. Either way, let me know what you think about all this. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you.
Well, bye.